Hey, what's going on, Facebook? I definitely want to apologize to y'all for getting started so late. Looks like Facebook actually changed a few of the algorithms for going live from a computer. So I'm actually doing our Facebook Live today from my phone, and I'm going to talk to you about how to turn your book, and this is the very first book cover that I had, into a program, into a curriculum that you can actually share out and use as a teaching tool for people who are interested in learning about what it is that you do. So I know that a few people are going to join a little bit late. I was actually about 20 minutes late, so I definitely apologize. If you're here, go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know that you are here. Leave your name. Just say, hey, if the information applies to you and it's something that you can use, something that you can implement in your own life, especially in this time, then definitely let me know, because what I want to do today is take you from not only just talking about your book, but I've always stressed that there's multiple streams of income that you have access to in your one book. So today we're going to talk about how to take your book. Again, this was the very first book cover, very special to me because a friend made this for me in the I guess you can say in the 23rd hour, right before the book was getting ready to be published, and turn it into a living, breathing program. As you can see, the program that I have behind me was my very first youth program, and we helped well over 150 plus kids here in Central Texas with the information. So another special thing that I'm going to do today is, I want to see who's on with me. Like I said, leave a name, leave a comment, let me know that you're here. And I got a special giveaway that I'm going to give away at the end. We're actually in this social distancing time. I don't want to give the disaster that we're facing right now a name. We all know the name, we all know the situation. So I'll just say this moment in history. And I see you, Angela Edwards, Gospel K-Fit Gospel here in Austin, Texas, and Carolyn Wynn, future published author. Her book should be out, and I want to say within the next 2 weeks. So if you haven't had a chance to, make sure you do me a favor and go support that young lady. I see you, Deuce, and thank you so much for sharing, Miss Angela. Now, as I was saying, when we start talking about books, the one thing that breaks my heart so much, it breaks my heart, is people say, I got a book. And I'm like, that's great. What's the next step? And most people don't understand that your book is a living, breathing business. You actually have turned your information, the information that you had up here and that you had on your heart for years, into something that becomes the opportunity to become a living, breathing business with multiple income streams, right? So first income stream is obviously your book. And I say don't price it any lower than about $20. Why? You've put years of life lessons, years of research, years of implementable tools into your book. And again, if you all are here, let me know that you're here. I can see the likes, and I love the likes. Let me know that you're here. Just leave a comment. I know that Angela's here. I know that Deuce is here. I know that Carolyn is here. Leave a comment. Let me know that you're here, because I do have a special giveaway, and it's going to be a random drawing for a special person, right? Now, the first thing, like I said, is your book. From your book, you have the opportunity to create a workbook. Why would you create a workbook? Because so many people read these books, and when they read your book, they're like, oh my God, that was great. I took so much away from it. But here's what you can do. I see you, Norman. I see you, Rudy. Here's what you can do with that information Give them some implementable tools. Because if you walk away and all you've done is read something, then 9 times out of 10, you're gonna do this. Oh man, that was such a great book. And then it goes right back on the shelf, along with all the other books that you've had, those romance novels, those self-help novels, those those cookbooks, those any clutter is just gonna sit there, right? But when you give somebody actionable steps, what they do now is they walk away with something that they can personally implement into their lives. And when they implement those tools into their lives, it becomes something that helps them grow, it helps them develop. And now you've created what they call raving fans, right? If you have a raving fan, that raving fan is going to tell somebody else, who's going to tell somebody else, who's going to tell somebody else. Now, next thing from your book, outside of just a workbook, is the one that I'm going to spend a lot of time on today with you. So this is actually going to be a teaching Facebook Live more than anything, because there's so many people that have a book but don't know what to do with it after that book is done. So the next thing after you have your book is turn it into some type of curriculum. Why would you want to turn it into a curriculum? By show of hands, if this has ever happened to you, then just leave a comment yes, or leave a comment no. Have you ever sat in a corporate training where they were trying to teach you something, and there was a bunch of sheets of paper, or there was this PowerPoint slide on the board, and you were sitting there? For some of them, you were like, man, this is exciting. I can't believe they shared this at my job. I'm growing so much. And then there's other curriculums or other trainings where you walk away from it and you're like, what time is it? I could have had a V8 today. I could have had a Snickers. I'm like so hungry. This person in front of me is so boring, and they ain't talking about nothing, right? So we don't want your curriculum to turn into that. Here's what I suggest for you. First thing, know your audience. If you know your audience, then you know what it is that they're looking for. You know what it is that they need from you. And not only do you know what they need from you, but you know how to solve those problems that they have. I see you, Robert. Moore. Got the Entrepreneur Awards coming up pretty soon, man. Salute. Always salute. It's always a pleasure when you got a multiple time international best-selling author tuning in with you weekly. I appreciate it. The love is there. And I see you too, Corey. So you want people to walk away from the things that you're sharing with implementable, actionable items, right? So if you know your audience, you know what it is that they're facing, you know the problems that you can solve for them, and you know how to give them actionable solutions. Because I'll take it personally. This book, and I'm gonna refer to this book a whole lot. This isn't the most updated cover, but this is the cover that means the most to me for special reasons. Now, that book was talking about how to take the dreams that you have in your heart and turn them into actionable steps. So I touched on a few different things. I touched on how to create a vision for your life. I talked about how to overcome obstacles. I talked about how to really tap into and step into your destiny. Now, that's a book of self-help and motivation. But what did I do with it? I took those lessons. Each one of those chapters had an actionable lesson, and I broke it down in such a way that we helped kids from 7 years old all the way up, from 7 years old all the way up to 18 years old, that walked away from this program. They went away learning how to create SMART goals. How do you create SMART goals? Most adults still don't understand how to create SMART goals. They walked away from it understanding how to surround themselves with the right people. So some of those same kids who were getting into trouble on a consistent basis, on the verge of who were on the verge of being expelled from school or suspended from school every single week, went from being on the bad list to straight A, B honor roll students. consistently because we started focusing their minds on their long-term goals, right? If you can see, these are some of the actionable things that we did with it. My audience was a lot different when I first started, right? Your audience, if your audience is someone who's dealing with domestic violence, then talk to them about the things that you went through. But when you create your curriculum, you want to dig into the things that you had to overcome. You want to dig into the things that you talk about in your personal testimony that will help somebody else. Because there's somebody out there who's still in a bad relationship. And guess what? They're not willing to walk away from it because they don't know how. They're not willing to walk away from it because instead of it's still comfortable for them, right? They don't see any way out. They don't see a future beyond that. If your audience is a business book, then talk to the people about actionable steps to create a living, breathing business using the things that you wrote in your book. Now, while you're solving their problems and you're giving them solutions to their problems, go through your book. Look at the pages in your book. Look at it and dig deeper, right? Because as you read, you're going to find things that you say, ooh, that was dope. That was deep. That was something that really had an impact on my life. If you find those things, turn it into a question because you don't want to give away the answers. You want to make them search within and find the answers for themselves. Because if you help them find the answers for themselves, I see you, Heather. Thank you for joining in with me. If you help them find the answers for themselves, then 9 times out of 10, they're going to change a lot faster than if you just say, here's the step that I need you to do. Here's the thing that you need to do. Some people are so resistant that they need that personal aha moment. And when they have that personal aha moment, it's going to hit a lot different, right? I've seen a lot of posts recently about the situation that happened in Georgia. And one of the posts that stood out to me is when you're raising a young African-American child, when you see all these issues of violence against black men in America, it hits a lot different, right? Your audience has the same thing. They're facing something, but you have to give them actionable steps. So how do you give them actionable steps? 1, give them questions that they can answer for themselves. 2, give them activities. Nobody wants to sit through that boring training, right? If you've been to college, if you've been to high school, wherever you've been, you've had that one teacher where you just sat in the class and you're like, oh my God, why am I here? This is so boring. I don't want to be here. But then you've also had that other class where the teacher was so energetic, they was so exciting, they was so revealing that you walked away every single day learning something new. A few teachers that stand out to me are, I'll give them a shout out now because I've actually sat in and watched their class when I was on different campuses. Babu Blakes and Crystal Moore. Babu Blakes taught English and he taught it through a hip hop perspective. He brought the kids through based on where they were. A lot of the kids in his class listened to hip hop music. And if they didn't listen to hip hop music, after hearing the songs that he played, they were grooving, they were jamming, they were excited. So when he said, let's break it down, let's find the pronouns, let's find the verbs, let's do it, man. Let's do that. I love the idea, Brother Moore. When he had them break it down, what is a noun? What is a pronoun? What is a verb? What is an adverb? They were easily able to find it, as opposed to the teacher that only said, William Shakespeare said, da 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 da. Most of us adults still don't read Shakespeare like that. But he broke it down on a level that allowed them to grow at their own pace, right? The other teacher that I give you, Miss Crystal Moore, when I sat in her class, she had a diverse group, but she broke it down in terms of where the kids were. She had them reading novels that were at their level. She had them reading, had them again grooving. She made up claps, and these claps got the kids engaged. As you have your curriculum for people, let's do it. As you have your activities for your people, give them something that they can get excited about, right? The other thing that you want to do to engage your crowd, to engage the people that are in there is you want to make sure that you celebrate them for the small achievements. Celebrate them for small achievements going through the process, right? For me, my first program, again, was all about kids. Claim Your Destiny Youth Leadership Program, teaching them to become leaders of themselves. As I've evolved, my program is now the Business of Books Mastermind Program, where we teach people how to write books and how to build businesses from their books. So throughout the process, you have to find a way to celebrate those people. For the kids, it may have been giving them a $5 gift card to Subway. You know what some of those kids did when they got those $5 gift cards? They were so excited they had their parents take them to Subway immediately. $5 is nothing. It's nothing, but it's a lot to a kid who may not have had a meal that specific day. Find ways to reward your audience for engaging, because the more they're engaged, the more they grow. And as they continue to grow, guess what they're going to do? They're going to tell other people about your program. When I first started, I started with an age group at a rec center. It wasn't a good fit. It was between 12 and 17. Guess what 12 and 17-year-old kids are looking to do at a rec center? I'll give you the G-rated version. They're looking to go play basketball. They're looking to go play with their friends. But at the rec centers, I also went down to kids that were 9 to 12. Guess what those kids did? They enjoyed being in the program. They enjoyed being part of a group. They enjoyed the group dynamic, and the activities were beyond what they wanted to do. We created vision boards. We had them write out their goals. What are your academic goals? What are your college goals? What are your career goals? But here's where I made it more exciting, and here's something that you can do. Use your network. Use your network. Don't use them in terms of hey, I need this from you every single week. But if you can bring in a guest speaker that talks about exactly what you're talking about, for example, with kids, Saul Paul, my mentor, Sean Hardiman, my mentor, came in and talked to the kids about being successful. Saul Paul is an international musician with a message, was recently Grammy nominated. So when the kids hear him rap and then tell his story, guess what they do? They get excited and they see themselves in the person that's in front of them. As an author, I brought in my brother Robert Moore. I brought in Chip Baker. I brought in Jesse Ross, Nikki Saunders, Jose Bennett. I brought in people that could speak their language, that were doing exactly what they want to do. Your network is filled with people that are doing exactly what you want to do and what your audience is looking to do. Bring them in and let your network meet them. Don't be selfish with it. Because guess what? The way to expand your network and the way to expand your program is to constantly surround yourself with people who are on a higher level and who are at an equal level, that are willing to pour into and share information with those who you are looking to impact. Remember, as authors, as writers, our job is to change the mold and help those people who are trying to get to where we are. And don't give me that, I'm gonna be nice, don't give me that excuse. Well, I'm not a 5-time international bestseller. I'm not either, but my brother Robert J. Moore is. So guess what? I can still teach you how to become an international bestseller by connecting you to my brother, who I know is going to put you in the best hands. I don't do video. Okay, but I know people that do. I don't know how to play in the NBA. I got plenty of friends that did. I have plenty of friends that did. Well, I'm still not completely out of that situation, but you're working with somebody who is. Surround yourself with people. Surround yourself with people who are willing to pour into your audience. Who are willing to pour into your audience. And the more they're willing to pour into your audience, that allows your curriculum to not just go to a basic level, it allows it to go to a much higher level. Use your network, and by bringing your network in to the programs that you're doing, it also allows them to expand their network, right? I can promise you, if you're selfish with your information, it's going to die with you. That's why they say the graveyard is the richest place on earth, not the pyramids, not the coal mines, not the diamond mines, not the gold fields or the gold mines. It's the cemetery. Don't let your dreams be buried with you. Share that information. Know your audience, know what they need, know what they're looking for, solve their problems, and create questions and activities each week. And you want to have at least 5 questions and maybe 2 to 3 activities each week that you can do with your audience, and that will strengthen your curriculum to a level that they'll go to a much higher level. Okay, so I'm actually gonna share a link to the PDF in the notes with the exact steps for creating your curriculum. And for each of you out there that tuned in, I thank you so much. Thank you so much. I do this live every week at 3 o'clock. Next week, hopefully, we'll be back on the computer. Today, we had to do it on the phone. Facebook issues. I take full responsibility. It was an ID 10T error, which means it was a user error. That was on me. All right. As far as the giveaway, I'm trying to see who's still on. Leave a comment if you're still here. I want to see who's on. I want to see who's on with me. I got a special giveaway that I'm giving away to somebody. So if you're still here with me, just leave a comment saying here. Okay, I see Carolyn, I see Corey, I see Robert Moore, I see Heather, I see Rashad. Okay. Anybody else? Maybe if I told y'all what the giveaway is, then y'all would be like, yo, I'm here. So I'm actually going to give away, I'm going to cash app somebody $25. I just need to know who's here. If you're here and you are a mother, happy Mother's Day. If you're a mother, you're a nana, you're a G diva, you are, okay. If you have a wife or a mom that needs that gift card, let me know. All right. So let me see. We'll talk about the workbook soon, Corey. That's gonna be another live. All right. So let me see. The latest comments came from Heather, Carolyn, Robert, Norman, Miss Dorothy Gaston, Corey, Gerald, Karen. Okay. All right. So give me a second. I'm about to message somebody. And see who. I'm gonna let somebody who is on with me choose. Who gets to be the winner. And I appreciate everybody for I appreciate everybody for being active. And you know what? I see somebody is drop. I appreciate that, Nick. Thank you so much. Listen, I thank each and every one of y'all, and I know that everybody has a book in them. In the comment. All right. Well, I had a side judge to say who it was, and it looks like our winner for the $25 gift card is Miss Carolyn. Okay, is Miss Carolyn Wynn Robinson. And what I'm going to do for the others, looks like Heather and Gerald, my brother Robert Moore is having a summit for authors, and best-selling authors across the globe are going to be at the summit. I'm going to share the information with you so that we can have this free. You get a free invite, and it's actually not a free event, so you're getting a major steal. All right, so thank each and every one of y'all for tuning in with me. I love you guys, and we'll talk next week.